In today's video, I am going to be taking you around Roath Park. This park in Cardiff was opened in 1894 and was one of the first public parks in Cardiff. It still retains its classic Victorian atmosphere and layout, extending along the Nantfara stream. The entrance to the park here shows the lake just on the right, with the lighthouse that we will revisit later on in this video. And then just to the left here is the play park. This is another little shot of one of the signposts with the Welsh directions there. This is one of the rare occasions that there's no one in the park. It's usually bustling with people. And this tree just in the middle here in 2024 was 245 years old. Many memories for a lot of children in this park include playing on the various equipment and rolling down the big green hill there. And in the 1920s, they had little hobby horses for the children to play with. The giant slide here is one of the main draws to this park, and kids will queue up for ages to get to go down the big slide. Just outside of the play park is this raised circular mosaic made to mark the park's centenary in 1994. It was designed by local school children and residents and shows some of the changes in Cardiff and the park over the 100 years since the park was created. This little path here leading to the bridge holds some special memories for me, as when my husband and I got married, we got married in the registry office and then headed to Roath Park for photos, and we had some photos just on this bridge. So I do really like this part of the park. This stream here is the runoff from the lake, and it's a really pretty part of the park, and it's very nice to see in the different seasons the foliage and the trees, the leaves are all lovely colours, all different times of the year. There's a lot of wildlife in the park. We stumbled upon this squirrel, and I've taken nuts for the squirrels before. And there's a section of benches where the squirrels like to hang out, and my husband and I sat and fed the squirrels for a long time, and the squirrels were getting more and more brave and coming up and getting the nuts from us. They have made this little archway here, which I'm sure in the summer may bloom. That'd be a lovely little spot to take some photos. This is the rose garden here. Obviously this was shot in autumn, so nothing was in bloom, but in summer it is wonderful with all the different varieties of roses that are grown here. But even on an autumn day, it still looks beautiful, and all of the different colour leaves on the pavement. I'm lucky that this day was off and on with the sun, so when the sun did come out, it was even more pretty. This is the archway here, which is covered in beautiful flowers in the summer. I did take pictures here as well when I got married, so it's so pretty. Another little squirrel here having a scratch on the bench. You can see all the red, orange and yellow leaves on the floor. It's a very lovely autumnal day. And here in the sunlight, you can see the leaves on this tree here. This is the Roath Park Conservatory, and there's a lovely little mosaic out the front to welcome you in. It was quite a contrast from being outside in the cold, coming into this warm greenhouse. But the conservatory here has koi fish, so you can come in, you can feed the fish, and there are lots of turtles as well. So here's one little turtle swimming around, and there are a few turtles there just hanging out on the rocks. There's a lovely waterfall at the back, and then there's all different types of plants in the conservatory. There was also a few spiders as well, which was a bit not to my liking. But this is an absolutely beautiful place to come and visit in the park, and you wouldn't expect it to be here. I think it was £1.50 maybe for entry, so a bargain. And it's just lovely to come listen to the sound of the water, watch the fish swim and the turtles. And there was a couple of ducks also in here, so yeah, that was lovely to come and see. Back out now, and we are on the promenade. This is a shot of the runoff from the lake. So it starts there and goes all the way down the hill just there. In the lake you have a ice cream kiosk here. There has been a kiosk supplying refreshments and ice cream on this site since at least the late 1960s. This building here was built sometime in the 1990s. And near the kiosk is the Terra Nova Cafe. This cafe was built to replace the original refreshment house, which stood to the west end of the promenade till the late 1960s. In March 1975, the new cafe was officially named Terra Nova in memory of Captain Scott's ship. The promenade here is an original feature of the park and was complete by mid-December 1893, when the lake was filled with water. It was widened in 1909 owing to its popularity for promenading. This here is the Scott Memorial, which is also known as the Lighthouse and the Clock Tower. It was built in 1914 and 1915. The wooden figurehead from Scott's ship, the Terra Nova, was presented to the city of Cardiff by the ship owner, Mr. Frederick Charles Bowring of Liverpool, at a ceremony which took place at the southern end of Roath Park Lake on December 8, 1913. The lake was emptied in 1914 in order to build foundations for the tower. There is a plaque on the side of the memorial facing the promenade which states that it is dedicated to the memory of Captain Scott and the members of the crew of SS Terra Nova, who sailed from Cardiff in 1910 and died in the Antarctic in 1912. The clock tower has 3 levels, including ground, with a small concrete landing separating the 2 upper levels. In October 2012, a small garden honouring Captain Scott was created on the south side of the promenade. It occupies approximately the position where the Terra Nova figurehead stood until 1932. The Captain Scott Garden was designed to mark the centenary of Scott's departure for the Antarctic from Cardiff. This view from the other side of the lake shows Captain Scott Memorial Lighthouse, and then to the right, the Terra Nova Cafe, and then the boathouse. The first proposals for pleasure boating on the lake and for the building of a boathouse were raised before the park officially opened in June 1894. From 1927, the lowering of the water level in the lake between October and March every year meant that winter rowing was no longer possible. Here you can see the rowing boats all stacked up for winter, and there are some of the pedal boats, and on the front of some of the pedal boats there is a swan. You can see some pigeons here taking a rest on the side of the lake, and that is one of the main draws for this lake, that there are so many birds, and it's so nice to come and feed the birds. There's swans, geese, ducks, herons, pigeons, seagulls. I've got a lot of fond memories coming to feed the ducks when I was little. There's a lot more seagulls now than I remember then. Here is a little plaque with a bit more information about the birds and what to feed them. They don't advise feeding the birds bread because it's not that healthy for them, and it can attract rats. The rats will raid the nests and steal the eggs of the birds, so we don't want to encourage that. Whenever I come to the lake, I bring seed with me to feed the birds. So I've just put some here, and we've got a lot of pigeons coming over. And I love to take my daughter now to feed the birds. She loves it. She loves to get involved, throwing the seeds on the floor for the birdies. And there's another view there of the Memorial Lighthouse. This is about halfway down the lake, so it is a rather large lake. When the lake was filled with water in 1893, It was 1/2 mile end to end and 1.25 miles in circumference, with a depth varying between 2 feet and more than 14 feet. And it has a surface area of about 32 acres. When we were in lockdown, I used to come here for my daily outing, and I would walk around the lake and head home. I've been coming here since I was little, and I never get bored of it. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this beautiful park. Thank you for watching.